Lily, I'm trying to film. Hello? Hi. Yeah, I'm back. I'm not dead. I wanted to film this a lot sooner than I was able to because I ended up moving out of state. I lived in New York and now I'm in Florida. And it took me months, but now I'm here and I'm finally able to film this within the time it took me to go from New York to Florida. I finished not one, but 2 sketchbooks. Hi. So I'm gonna film this one, which is sketchbook number 7, and then I'm gonna film this one, which is sketchbook number 8, and they're like the same brand, which is why they look the same. The sketchbook I have a lot of mixed feelings with because I had very, very high hopes for it, but then this kind of happened. Don't have high hopes for sketchbooks, just see them as books. I drew a picture of me holding up 7 fingers because it's my 7th sketchbook. See, it says it right there. This is the kind of sketchbook it is. Jack was here. We've got Andy with like a space theme. I forgot what's in this sketchbook, by the way, because I finished, when did I finish this? June 7th. So it's been quite a while since I looked through this. Yeah, this I was gonna say this is not a video. Well, it is to you, but this is paper. This was inspired by what was at the time Grace Vanderwaal's new song, Clearly. I mean, it's still her song. It's just not new. But Grace Vanderwaal. Oh, I remember this. I drew Luca at a desk, and it's really funny because the desk is too small for him, and it kind of became a joke that now he just has desks that's too small for him. Someone please buy him a bigger desk. He's a tall boy. Bugbot, he's a favorite. Everyone loves him. He's just a little bug robot. This is Aspen. Here I was trying to figure out how the sketchbook handles different materials. Hello?
Shut up.
Could go away.
No.
Trying to film. It didn't really handle it very well. It bled through onto the other page, which I've never had that experience with watercolors, but it actually makes sense because this is a journal and not a sketchbook. I've just used it as a sketchbook. Stuff. I want to get a tattoo, and that's all that is. Here I went to the Albright Knox Art Gallery on April 6th, and it was a really nice day, and I was very happy. Nothing to see here. A drawing of 2 of my OCs, that's Jeremy and Aurora. Here is another character I was designing for Jeremy and Aurora's story. He's God, basically. Modeled after David Diggs, because, you know. And here's the Satan character. He isn't modeled after anybody, but I gave him high heels because Satan would. Here I was trying to design a uniform for her, because she's an angel, and she does a specific job, which it's hard to explain without giving details of the story. Also, this sketchbook, am I gonna tell the story? So the reason it fell apart like this is I had it on my grandma's coffee table, and I was sleeping on her couch that night, and had a cup of water next to it. And the cup didn't tip over at all. It didn't spill or anything. But somehow, all the water that was in the cup got out of the cup. And I looked at the cup and there wasn't any like cracks or anything on it, so I don't know how that happened. But it was soaking in water all night and then that happened. So that's why in the beginning there's like these little bleed through things. I didn't even make it halfway and it fell apart, and it was really sad. At least I have this doodle of Rad Shark to cheer me up. More doodles of Jeremy and Aurora. I found a pen on the floor at my school, so I drew with it, because, you know. Here I was trying to design more stuff for that story, but I kind of started feeling a little bit burned out. So these pages don't look fantastic. I really like this one, though. Here's another character from that story. I was still very burned out, but I was trying to do that anyway. I think after this, I actually moved on. Sometimes it just be like this. Here, I wasn't really happy. I remember, oh, I'm slowly zooming in. I remember when I got to this page, I wasn't really happy with the way this sketchbook was coming out, and I realized that I was treating it differently to how I would normally treat a sketchbook. So here I wanted to just treat this one how I would treat all my other ones. So I went to Andy, who's my main OC, if you don't know already. I ended up scanning this and submitting it for the last art show I had at the high school. And I really like it still. I think it's really cute. That's Andy's cat named Meatball. I ended up scanning this entire page and put it in that same art show. This drawing is very strange because I drew it with the intent of not making something stiff, but then the more I drew on it, and it ended up being like one of the stiffest drawings in this whole sketchbook. Whenever I would show my sketchbook to people at school and stuff, they would always point out like the post-its and stuff, and they would think that it's some like really creative artistic decision, but it's just because I messed up. This is Sawyer. He's also from the same universe as Andy, Luca, and Rory. This one was in the art show too, and this one was also in the art show. I don't know if you can read that, but that's Sawyer, Kennedy Quinn, Cairo, and Mabel. Mistakes were made. That's what that is. This was the only thing I did for Mermaid. She's a character that I have and draw sometimes, which I think is actually going to be a part of my first webcomic, which might be a thing later on this year. I don't know. This is a character that turns into something very different. He started off as this shy vampire boy, but is now something very different, and I honestly love him a lot more now. Here's more of that vampire guy. At this point, he didn't have a name, but the more I worked on him and changed his design, a name kind of came out. Here's another character from that same story as the vampire guy. Her design hasn't changed a whole lot, but she's a jackalope. This is the character that took me so long to figure out the design of. He's a werewolf, and I counted, he has about 16 different design phases, because I just for some reason couldn't figure out how I wanted him to look. Here I was trying to draw those characters more, because I didn't really know who they were at this point. Noe turned out so cute. Look at her. This, I was sad this one time. Anyways. Ignore it. Look at this. This is much happier. This is that good gay. I think this was the page where I started using Pinterest as references, because I would follow a lot of artists who would use Pinterest as references, and I didn't understand why, and then I started using it, and it's actually really nice. Boom! I started calling their group BAM because their initials spell it out. It's Bishop, Aspen, and Milo, which has been really funny. I spelled science wrong. Here I was drawing Noe again. I was a little obsessed with drawing her because I thought she just turned out so cute. The story is supposed to be about like cryptids slash fictional creatures. So yeah. Here I was drawing Wendy and Shelia from Fairy Tale. I got these like brush pen things from Barnes & Noble, so I wanted to like use them, and the colors reminded me of them. This one was a reference from Pinterest, and I drew it with Wendy, and I actually really like the way it turned out. I think it's really cute. I taped this receipt here because the marker bled through. Here I believe is when I first watched Newsies, and so I drew Luca in an outfit inspired by that. And here I rewatched Coraline and remembered how amazing of a movie it was. My sister is terrified of it, but I love it, so I'm probably gonna make her watch it with me again. More stuff. This page isn't very exciting. I drew this when I was I was at the mall. I don't remember what store I was in, but there was a furniture. And I remember when I was drawing this, I was just staring at this chair for like a solid 20 seconds, and my sister thought I was going crazy, but I was just using it as a reference for this, and I was trying to figure out how I wanted the person to sit in it. A dog that me and my friend named Pedro. And then here I drew Andy, which I really like the way this one turned out still. I've never told the world about Beefy Bennies, have I? That's okay, that's a story for another time. You know, sometimes you just think about girls, and you think about how much you think about how much you like girls. Another OC. Well, this is the same OC from the other page. This is Hadia. I was gonna do this in gouache, but then I never did, because at this point I bought gouache, but I never used it. Here's Aspen, Milo, and Bishop's story. They have a cool story. It's about like zombies and stuff. Yeah, here I was trying to design a uniform for them. It's so hard describing some of this stuff, because I don't have a lot of like my actual stories out. I just have like the characters and stuff. Maybe if you guys are interested, I can make videos talking about them. This I bought a set of Spectrum Noir markers, which is really funny because I bought them because the swatches on the case made it look like there was a lot of yellows in it, and I needed more yellows, and so then I bought it. But then when I sampled it, the colors on the caps and the swatches were so off. Like literally none of them are yellow. Yeah. Hero's really obsessed with the Love, Simon movie. To be honest, I still am. This picture is kind of weird. I actually like this one a lot better. These characters actually ended up being a part of that zombie story. But that's Lincoln and that's Beatrix. Hero's working on some background stuff, so I drew my character Milo. He's in a bathroom. Because when I was younger, I used to lock myself in the bathroom a lot. I was emo. And so I was thinking about that, and so I drew this. This is a very old character of mine. Is this zoomed in? Oh my god, why do I always do that? It was zoomed in. Oh no. This purple pen died. It didn't really die, but I was at the bleachers at this field one time, and I dropped it, and it fell on the bleachers, and then the nib broke. So I had a lot of plans for this page. I wanted to make it like really pretty orange and purple color scheme, but instead I ended up with this. I was practicing hands here. These were actually all my hand, and now this was when I was also at the bleachers. I actually really like this drawing. These are two OCs. This is Jackson, and that's Micah. I remember at this point I was fighting a bit of an art block, I guess, or I was burned, I don't know what it was. I just wasn't happy with anything I was making, and so I told myself that I would be really patient with this piece, and I would keep trying no matter how crap it looked. And so I did that, and it actually ended up turning out really nice, and I think it definitely helped me a lot. This one was a picture from Pinterest, but I changed like this bottom half. This I drew in school. I think I was in English, and I didn't like my English teacher. So I just taped that in here. This is a leaf I found. I think I found it when I was walking my dog. And so I just taped it in here because I didn't want to draw anything. And this is where the vampire changes. I wanted to change his outfit because it seemed really boring. It was just like a turtleneck and some jeans. And so after a while I got inspired to change him into this. And this is when his character changed completely. Oof. He ended up being, here he still has a bit of his old personality, but he ended up being this like shy, anxious vampire guy to some really snobby prince. And I like this design a lot better. He's honestly one of my favorite characters to draw now. Here I was trying to design him again. His name's Lo, by the way. I was gonna have that name for him, but I decided him because it actually means like wolf cub or something. In case you missed it on the last page, his name is Prince Delaney. Here I was practicing with gouache. I've never used it before. This was like my first time using it, so it's a little it's a little rough, but I like it. For a first attempt, it's not bad. Here I was trying to design Lo again, and it's failing. This one looked a lot like my character Jeremy, so I drew him over here. I drew Jeremy and Aurora. They're really fun for me to draw. They're my oldest OCs. I made them when I was 11, and they've been through a lot of changes. They mean a lot to me. Here's Delaney again. I was obsessed with drawing him, and for good reason. I love him a lot. He's gonna be in my first webcomic. I made him like specifically for that. Here I forgot why. Oh yeah, I pasted this here because I wanted to use a Copic drawing on the next page. So I drew Kennedy Quinn, and I really like it. She likes to play baseball, and she's a cutie. I was practicing with watercolor because I didn't get that opportunity a lot in this sketchbook. Here I drew Andy. I wanted to practice with my coloring a bit more because I wasn't super satisfied with it. And hold on. I don't know if you noticed on this one, but like subtly here and like here I added like, basically just added like yellows where the light would hit her, and then blues where there wasn't any light, and then added like my regular shading. And so I wanted to try and do that with markers. And then this is the result. I like it. This is something that I actually am still doing today. These, I don't know if a lot of classes do this, or like a lot of schools do this, but at my old school we had a thing called Kiss a Senior Goodbye. Basically you would buy one for a senior, and then it would come with this, and then they would get like a little baggie of like Hershey's Kisses, and I got 2 from my old teachers, and this one I think actually has like a note on the back, and it's like super sweet, and it almost made me cry. Heroes to trying to design Lo again. I actually end up, this is pretty close to what he looks like now. So here I wanted to make a little comic, but I was fighting another, I don't want to call it an art block, I was just in a bad state of mind, I guess. I found that whenever I'm struggling with that issue, I always draw like old art, and it helps me get out of that. Here I was still drawing some old art, and then this is something, I actually redrew it once before, and I redrew it again. I actually really like these drawings. I was planning on turning them into speed paints, but then time kind of got the best of me. Maybe it'll happen someday. I was working on backgrounds again. I kind of drew this in mind thinking that it was like Andy's bedroom, so that explains a lot of the design choices if you know them as a character. This is a little comic. I might just like take a picture of the panels and stuff and put it in here because it'll be easier, and then you could pause it and read it if you want. Here's Beatrix. She got shorter hair here and I like it a lot better. It's really poofy. I was a little unhappy with where her design was going because visually she was reminding me too much of my character Rory, and so I made some notes here so I could change her design and then hopefully make someone who looks different, and I think now she does. This is a drawing I did for, it was this like senior awards program thing. I don't know. The principal was real upset with this, and you want to know why? He was worried that this would come off as racist. I guess a black 16-year-old reading a book with an award next to his beanbag chair is racist, so careful, guys. Yo, can you go give me a Reese's? Please?
I don't like you.
Oh no, I want a Reese's! Oh, thank you. You are literally Jesus. The best Reese's I've ever had in my goddamn life. Here I was trying to design their colors and stuff. And this is also when I gave Lincoln those different facial proportions. I wanted to draw Bugbot saying, "Don't be sad," but I kind of forgot about it and I never finished it, so it just says, "Don't be." I drew this for Pride Month. I wanted to do a whole bunch of stuff for Pride Month. I had like a whole lineup of videos planned and like a whole bunch of art planned. I had a lot going on and I wasn't able to make all those videos. Oh, this is sad. Yeah, ignore all of this. I'm okay. Don't worry about me. I guess long story short, this is how gender dysphoria makes me feel. I have a receipt because the marker bled through, of course. I believe this is also in gouache. I did this on watercolor paper while I was watching it and I taped it through. It's okay. This is another comic. I'll put the panels in now so you can actually read it because I don't think this camera's picking it up very well. I drew this on a brown paper bag and I just taped it in here. I really like drawing Mabel. Every time I draw her, she just turns out so cute. Drawing Matilda, I'm still working on her design, ignore it. This is Evangeline. I accidentally designed her in a way that makes her look like Ariana Grande. I really like the way this one turned out. She looks so much better in here. Messed up on the eyes though. I tried fixing it with a jelly roll, but it didn't quite work out that way. This is when I did that thing I always do when I want to finish a sketchbook, which is just do a bunch of figure studies because they're really fast and they don't take up very much time, but they can fill up a lot of pages. More figure studies, more figure studies, and then more figure studies, and then more figure studies, and then figure studies of animals. I found that I really like drawing squirrels. I don't know what it is about them, but they're really fun for me to draw. More animals, more animals. I believe this is the last page of animals. This sketchbook existed before Lotor went AWOL. And now it's really weird seeing pictures of him. I didn't want to draw anything on this page. So I pasted in these notes and stuff from my friends. Here's another OC. I haven't drawn her in this sketchbook yet, which is very weird because I like her a lot. This is Alistair. She's an alien. Here's, I don't want, this is about like the stories and stuff that I have. And so I don't think I'm gonna take pictures of these so you could read them, because I would prefer to make a video of me talking about them rather than giving it to you guys through text. More depression and emo writing. Some Voltron stuff. I was rewatching it, so I drew Pidge. And then I drew Shiro with long hair because I don't think he should have kept his long hair, but I did like it, so I wanted to draw it. Here I was filling up the last few pages by just drawing stuff that I saw. So I drew my glasses, a mug, some, was that tape? It has to be tape. Oh, what the fuck else would it be? I drew a microwave, a toaster, my phone, a Sharpie, highlighter thing, and a box of Honey Bunches of Oats. A fridge, a remote, no water bottle, and my grandma's lamp. Oh, this is how I feel whenever I think about LOTOR now. I like to end my sketchbooks with character profiles, and I believe I color-coded them. So like whenever there's the same color, it's because they're from the same story. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. So here we got Andy. We have Luca and Rory. They're the twins. Yeet. This is my next sketchbook. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna try and get this one out so I'm not on that long hiatus that I end up always taking. Yeah, let me know if you liked this video and subscribe because I just reached 300 subscribers, so thank you. Thank you for tolerating me. And bye. This was inspired of Hi! Zola! Can you not? Zola! Excuse you! Excuse you. Quiet on set, please. So many cats!